so we think it's a spiritual problem. I've had many people tell me different things about that it's a genetic malfunction or it's a choice, just different things about it. But what I think happens is that when you reject, or for whatever reason, let's say you reject a spouse that God has connected you with, or you play games with it. I think this is so serious that, and then what happens after that? A strong delusion and deception come into your life, and you don't really understand that, but that is, I believe, how that works. Not to say that they're bad, or do we make mistakes? Absolutely. I've made several. Can any of us be deceived? Absolutely. There's a lot of deception in the world and a lot of confusion about love, marriage, family, and God, and your spiritual walk with God, and with what it all means. But it's very important. It's a strong delusion, though, when we reject God, or in a serious matter when we reject a spouse that God has given to us. We know the divorce rate is astronomical, and it's really tearing the families and the children and confusing a lot of people about what it really should be. I know it did for me, and that was one of my questions even to God: does anyone really love anyone anymore? Because it didn't. Everyone around me was getting a divorce, and in my family, and it didn't make a lot of sense, and then of course the children suffered. And like I said, God said He hates divorce, and but it was also very grievous in my spiritual walk to marry someone that I wasn't spiritually connected to, and that God didn't. It's not saying that they're a bad person. It's just choose one, not all. God's not going to give me 100 husbands, like a harem or whatever. As far as I know, and spiritually have been able to determine, He's going to give me one. Now, if that person walks away from God's decision for their life, does that mean it's at the end of the world for you? I don't think so. I think God knows who is faithful and who's not, and but will they both suffer? I think so. Yeah, I think they'll both suffer. But if God can put you together with one individual, and that person walks away from you or marries someone else, does that mean you have to live the rest of your life single, or pining after someone that has gone in a different direction? No, I don't think so. I think what God did there with that person, He can do it again with another person, and you don't own that person, by the way. Even if you are married to them, you don't own them like a piece of property. And like I said, it is balanced. One person's gift of love is not bigger than the other, or vice versa. It's balanced. And yes, we do submit to one another biblically and spiritually. But one of the things that will get you into trouble is that if you start lying, cheating, playing games, God can and He will suffer that. So if you no longer feel connected to that person, watch out. Don't trust them. Be wary. Because today, I've seen even those who are spiritually connected. I've just seen it. They finish one another's sentences. They look at each other, see each other. That's interesting, because the way God does that, it's interesting to me now, especially because when you look at that person, you're looking at yourself. How would you treat yourself? How would you want to be treated? Treat others as being even better than yourself? When you treat your wife with love, honor, respect her, cherish her, you're respecting, honoring, and loving yourself. Interesting how that works. So if you're cruel and you're mean and you're abusive to your spouse,